Hey everyone, welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Stoff in Sweden. He says, I wonder if you could help me see this a little more clearly. I've had different addictions all throughout my life, and right now it's better than it ever has been. But I'm still addicted to a thing called kratom, and I'm beginning to see that I don't need it to cope with my life anymore, but it's so hard to get off of because of the physical part of the addiction. With alcohol and overeating, I've totally stopped because it doesn't make sense anymore. But this feels different because I get such uncomfortable withdrawals that I can't stand. I've tried tapering, but I can never stick to a tapering schedule because as soon as the discomfort gets to be too much, I take more than I have to. I have a sense that there's something about this that I just can't see right now, but I'm so impatient with all of this because I really want to be free of this substance. It's causing health issues. Sorry for the long email. I hope you understand my English. It's excellent English stuff. Thank you for everything you do. Your book and videos and podcast have helped me so much, and they've given me hope that my life can be worth living. Awesome. So, such a great question, Stoff, and not uncommon, but I love that you're asking this and that we get to look at it a little bit because it's so easy, and it's so easy for what our mind wants to do is kind of make everything look a little bit separate. So, and this is normal and it's okay. It's not a problem. I just want to kind of talk about what a mind will do, how a mind will paint a picture of something for us. So a mind might say, not even saying your mind is saying this, but this is what a mind might say. A mind might say, well, I stopped drinking and I stopped overeating, and this is how the stopping of those things looked. So your mind is there reminding you, you've done this before. Now it's all well-meaning, right? Your mind is trying to help you. It's trying to show you, hey, you've done it before. You're going to do it with this new substance. But let's go back in the past and look at how that all went, and then let's throw all that past stuff into the future and give you a nice idea about how this current issue might go. Now, again, this is just what a mind does because it's a machine that's all about our survival that wants you to know stuff. It's invested. It thinks your survival is about it telling you what's going to happen. It does not like uncertainty. It does not like suffering and pain and all of that, of course. And so it's doing everything it does to try to minimize those things and maximize your survival. So a mind might say, yeah, I quit the alcohol, I quit the eating. It felt this way. It was hard at times. Sometimes it was really hard. It wasn't always perfect, but I felt emotional stuff, or I felt a lot of thinking, or maybe I felt physical, but it was nothing like the physical that you feel coming off of this substance, right? So a mind is in there the whole time comparing and contrasting and looking, and in all of that, and you're not doing this on purpose, this is just how that machine works. In all of that, your mind is kind of spitting out, therefore, here's how it should go if you're going to be off this new substance. And then when our experience doesn't match that, it can look like a problem. So just see if anything in that sort of resonates. And again, Stoff, I'm not at all suggesting that you're aware of all this or that you're thinking all that or anything like that. It's just kind of how things tend to go sometimes in our heads. So I love what you said here. So you've been through other stuff. Amazing that those experiences have, no question, helped you see something that can be so helpful now, because you know what it feels like to feel a lot of discomfort. Maybe it's not a perfect match with the discomfort you're feeling now, but you know what that feels like. You know what it feels like to think you need something, and then, as you're saying here, to wake up to the fact that you don't need it to cope with your life. So you've seen so much, and so much is moving in a great direction for you. So that's awesome. But I love how you said it, and I so wish we could have a conversation about this rather than me just kind of saying it to you. You feel this physical withdrawal. It feels really uncomfortable. You're kind of following, you know what you want to do in terms of like a tapering schedule or whatever, but it gets to be too much and you just take the stuff. You get to a point, right, where you just can't don't feel like you can be in that feeling and that level of discomfort anymore. And right after that, though, you say, I have a sense that there's something about this that I just can't see right now because I'm so impatient with all of this. I just want to be free of it. And then your mind tells us why you want to be free of it, because it has all these health consequences and all of that. It does have health consequences. We know you want to be free of it. You will be free of it. But notice how your mind will come in and say, but it's too hard, but I'm impatient, but I just want it to be over with. And in some weird way, it's like the discomfort gets to be so big and your mind just has its limit. It says this is enough. And listen, I'm not saying it's like a trick of the mind or that it's not incredibly uncomfortable. I just want you to see that the limits for all of us and all of life, the limits is our mind coming in saying, okay, this is too much. Too much is a thought. Too much is something our mind makes up, right? And it's a sliding scale. So too much when it comes to alcohol or how you can feel about not overeating or whatever is a very different place than too much when it comes to how you feel about kratom. That's normal, right? We all have our this is too much, I can't handle this right now, I need to get out of here point. And it's shifting all the time, and we have it with everything in our lives, right? So that's just good to see. That's just good to remember that your mind has this too much thing. But if you don't, I want to tell you, don't be impatient. But see, when you're in a hurry, as soon as you start to reach that too much point and you're thinking, I don't think I can do this, I don't think I can do this, what your mind gets to do is say, see, you're not going to do it. You're going to go take the substance. You're going to be back at square one. You're slowing your progress down. Like the uncomfortable feeling, especially when we're in a hurry and we're telling ourselves, this is so bad for me. The uncomfortable feeling is even more uncomfortable because your mind's saying you failed, you can't do it. And it just becomes this big mess. But the more you can kind of set that aside, time is something your mind makes up around this. I'm not saying it's not bad for your health, what you're doing, but it is bad for your health. But what's better for your health is to be free of it. And being free of it, generally speaking, is going to come a lot sooner when you're able in a moment to just play and explore a little bit. Notice the feeling. Notice, wow, this feeling, it's really intense, but I'm the one noticing it. My mind is the one very arbitrarily saying, yeah, I can hang out in this a little longer to get to the other side, or no, I absolutely can't, and everything in between, right? So it's like we're so in the experience, especially a physical one. And I hear you, you're not going to be perfect at this, but when we kind of have a bit of space in that experience, even a physical one, you get to notice where your mind is in there calling the shots just a little bit more. And the more patience you can have, Stoff, the faster it's going to go. That's the irony, right? When we're impatient, we slow everything down. And we're only impatient because we're scared. Our mind's scaring us about it and saying, this needs to happen now. It has all these consequences. None of that's going anywhere. But see if you can just hear that as your mind trying to speed this up, because that's what minds do. They want everything to go quickly. Everything's about time to a mind. So see if you can notice that and just be here now, where there is no time, and where you can feel into a feeling and you can be in it and you can lean into it. And you know what? If it doesn't go perfectly in a moment, okay, you come back the next day and you try it the next time. That feels so horribly slow to a mind. But in life, beyond the machinery counting all the minutes and seconds, like in life, it's not slow at all. It's often the way that change happens is in that sort of pace and that kind of way. Not perfect, not fast, but open and curious, and with a gap between what we're feeling and what we're thinking. So keep me posted, Stoff. I hope something in this kind of lands and opens it up. And most of all, go back to what you said here, where you say, I feel like I have a sense that there's something about this that I just can't see right now. when all those alarm bells go off, our mind just goes blank and says, no, can't do this, but you're right. That sense is your own common sense knocking at the door saying, hey, this doesn't have to be this way. You can do this. There's no question you can do this. It's just a matter of kind of being with yourself and being in the process in maybe a slightly different way, a more curious, open way, and letting it go however it kind of needs to go. So thanks so much for sending your question. I wish you all the best, and please let me know how it goes for you. Thanks everyone for listening, and see you back here next Monday.